Uh, Good day. My name is Tsepiso, and thank you for joining me. And today, I would like us to discuss something about us, especially South Africans. You know, the double standards that we have, and the contradiction that we have upon our cultures and religions. You know, especially our African cultures and Western cultures and religions. You know, in South Africa, we find ourselves very confused, and we we tend to want things when they are beneficial to us, and then we hate on them or we bash them when they are not, right? And what do I mean by that? For instance, as we live in a democratic South Africa, we have, rights and freedoms to choose whatever religion and culture that you want to believe in, right? Um, most of black South Africans are Christians. Um, part of them are Muslims. But then you would find someone who's like, nah, I don't do the uphahla amadlozi. I don't slaughter cows. I don't slaughter any sort of animal to appease the dead, which in this case is our ancestors, right? I don't do all of that. What I do is go to church, praise God through Jesus, and we tend to be judging to the to people that do African cultures and ways, right? And then, one thing about that is that, especially us as Christians, we tend to be like, especially, let's say you get into a relationship uh, with a lady, right? And then she's she's from a Christian background and all of that, and then obviously she says, "Nah, I'm a Christian. I grew up as a Christian, and I want my kids, and then the person that I will be in a relationship with, to also not be, you know, not believing in something that is opposite of what I believe in, right? Right. I don't want those uhlaba inkomo, what. It's sort of like satanic and whatnot, right? And then they don't want all of that, the practices of our African ways, right? But then you want ilobola. When it comes to everything else, you don't want that. You want ilobola. You like you you believe in the Western cultures and religions, which is Christians, white weddings, all of that. You believe in that, and that's what you want. You say that's what you grew up under, right? And then I find it very difficult to understand why, when it comes to this thing of lobola, I then must lobola you when you don't believe in African ways and cultures. I find it very strange and hard to understand why we should, uh, or there should be lobola at all, especially to someone that is a Christian and that does not um, believe in African ways. I find it very difficult to understand that. We find ourselves um, double standing our things, because when it comes to that, they benefit, so they want that part of Africanism. They want that. Or like, no, ilobolo you must keep because it's the right thing to do. Right to right thing to do for who? Because you don't believe in African ways. You are a Christian, when you believe in Western ways of doing things. You want white wedding. Why should we lobola you in the first place? Why? Why? Okay, South Africa has a very long way to go, guys. South Africa has a very, I don't think anytime soon we'll be at a place where we know our identity at all, especially within the system that we are under, the democracy that we are in. Already the mess has been done, and then it's still ongoing. Democracy has came with its own benefits, but then came also with its own conditions, right? And then we find ourselves contradicting ourselves with what we believe, or what we think we believe in, or what we choose to believe in. And then when it's beneficial, we want the other things. You get what I'm saying? And I don't want to, it's the same thing as, no, I'm independent. I don't need this and this. I don't want to make it gender based, right? So I'm just gonna speak about it openly and broadly. I'm independent. I don't need anyone. I work for myself. I don't need a partner to do one, two, three on what not. And then, okay, you're like, okay, let's do this. I like that. You are independent. You are all that. Let's do this. But then comes a time, but no, but you must provide for me. What? Aren't you independent? No, but then that's your job as a what. I don't want to, I just want to be open. That's your job as my partner. You must do that. You can't believe in two things at once. It can't be. It can't be. You can't believe in two things at once. It can't be. So you saying you're independent, you work for yourself, you don't need anyone to do. So now why is it that when it benefits you, you want to be dependent on me, but then when it comes to you, you are your own person, and it is viewed as you are doing the great thing, you are empowered. But then when it's benefiting to you, you don't want to be empowered. You want to be a normal human being that gives and take. But then when it's your time to give, it's like, no, but then these things are mine. It's the same thing as, no, guys, nah, what you do, it's satanic. I don't want to do any of that. I don't believe in that. I mean, it's wrong. This book says this. This book says this, and I can't be, mixing my life with such things, such beliefs, such ways of life. I can't be doing that. And then when it is benefiting for you, you want the African ways. You want lobola, because then lobola, it's African ways. When they slaughter a cow there, when they accept you as their makoti or their what, that's African ways. That's African ways. Even if they don't slaughter that cow, lobola is an African practice on its own. Lobola is an African practice. So why, as a Christian, do you expect, or do you want, or your family, since they raised a Christian, why do they want lobola? I find it very puzzling and disturbing that as a nation we are very much confused and there is no moving forward, none whatsoever, if we as a nation don't have one identity. If everything is puzzled out like it is right now, division will always be there. Division will always be there, especially with the diversity that we have. It's good to a certain extent, but then in terms of us being united as a one nation, there's no such a thing. For example, there's a province down there, they want to separate themselves with the rest of South Africa. And then there's another one, the Nguni province, where they think they are the ultimate tribe in South Africa. It's all of these things that keep us divided as a nation of South Africa. So I just found myself really intrigued about these things that I just couldn't help but wonder why we do all these things.